Then I'm back upon the road in search of places grander, for that's the way I live my life, a travelling overlander.
From the coast, my adventure next takes me inland and up over the Great Dividing Range. I will pass through the Atherton tablelands, the last bit of greenery before hitting the dry flatlands of the mythical Australian outback. In Atherton, I dropped into the Crystal Caves to check out their amazing collection of crystals. And then westward I ride, stopping in at the Undara lava tubes, where I interview Savannah Guide Val Speedie.
Savannah Guides is a group of people who've come together, who've brought in information from Aboriginal people, from people who work on the land, from graziers, from miners, from people who are biologists. All this information comes together to give an overall comprehensive picture that we can show to people, not just a narrow view, but as broad as we can make it, because it's a fascinating world out here. The motto is Protectors of the North, and we try to show people the best we can this unbelievable world of the dry outback north of Australia.
But just look at these fig trees.
These Undara lava tubes were formed 190,000 years ago as a tiny volcano started to pulse out enormous volumes of lava across a gently sloping landscape. As it flowed across the land, it found some hollows and it ran down them and filled them up and flowed across the land. Now these hollows cooled around the outside and the centres ran like arteries, pumping this vast amount of lava across this landscape, burning, destroying and killing everything in its path. The land cooled, the lava tubes emptied, leaving behind a hidden pipeline hidden underneath this dry landscape out here, only recently found. They're huge, they're spectacularly coloured, and they're hidden. And they're really special because they've got features in there that look as though they happened yesterday, and yet it's nearly 200,000 years since they formed. Now the land around you at the moment, this is the end of the dry season, this is the brown season. This is really the time of the crow. This is where the land culls out those that are weak and don't survive. And it's all part of the fascination of this world, but it's a harsh world. Water is extraordinarily scarce, and the whole of our livelihoods are based around the availability of water, which is why with a country the size of the United States, we have about 20 million people. It's limited, our population is limited by our accessibility to water. And so the people who came out here, say the people who settled this land in 1863, they faced enormous difficulties as they came out here in an isolated, harsh, dry world of cyclone, of droughts, of floods, of fire. All these things forged a people that live in the outback who were very strong people. But they love it. Once the Gulf and the outback gets to you, it gets to you. And you're hooked then.